Let's look at some end-time headlines. Notice with me on the screen, this is from The Guardian, October 8th, 2019. Nations must, what's the word? Unite for what reason? To halt global economic slowdown, says new IMF head. The new head of the International Monetary Fund has told scrabbling nations to do what? To forget their differences and prepare a united response to the most serious threat to the global economy since the financial crisis a decade ago. In her first speech since becoming the IMF's managing director, Kristalina Georgieva said the world was in a synchronized slowdown and needed a synchronized response. The outlook had darkened owing to a series of fractures, trade disputes, geopolitical tensions, and Brexit among them, tackling, what is it? Climate change, terrorism, and money laundering, all required cooperation. So we see a crisis here brewing. Revelation chapter 13 comes to mind when it comes to the economy, which is the main subject there that she is addressing. Keep the mark of the beast and the no buying and selling in mind. Notice, from Open Democracy, it says here, to savage multilateralism, we need a what? A global Green New Deal. It's time to reclaim the policy space lost to footloose, what's the word? Capital, by creating a new public realm of the global level. This whole push here to adapt a global Green New Deal, this is a socialist agenda. This is Revelation chapter 13 here. Notice, next article here from WBUR. World mayors announce support for what? Global Green New Deal at Denmark Climate Summit, October 9, 2019. Mayors from some of the world's biggest cities threw their support behind a global Green New Deal to build a more equitable future by cutting carbon emissions. The whole world economy, notice again, the whole world economy, the whole world of politics, notice carefully, needs to be massively disrupted. Let's pause. Notice how they are admitting here their plan. What they want to do, create a crisis in order to push their agendas, like the 2001, like the 2008 crisis, and many other crises that they have put together to condition the masses. Notice, again, the whole world economy, the whole world of politics needs to be massively disrupted because we in a real life and death situation with a very short amount of time to fundamentally change the way we live in our economies for the better. And that's only going to happen if the whole of society really feels it is a priority and something that has to be tackled. Again, conditioning the masses to accept the Sunday law. This is exactly what the Pope says within his Laudato Si. Cause crisis, create a problem here. Go about with the thesis, the Hegelian dialectics, thesis versus antithesis, so we can bring about the synthesis, the solution, which is Sunday law. They are calling for under the umbrella of Global Green New Deal. Here is the Jesuits explaining this for us. The same thing we just read from this article here, create a crisis, which is exactly what the Pope says in his encyclical Laudato Si. Notice carefully. It says here, Pope Francis, Laudato Si versus the Green New Deal. Francis, prescription, there it is, remedy, prescription for ecological culture. Change occurs primarily in his May 2015 encyclical Laudato Si. In this magisterial document, Francis rightly insists that the existence of, notice, the existence of laws and regulations won't work to curb the behaviors producing climate change by themselves. When it says this, the behavior, to change the behavior that climate change produced by themselves, talking about people. We need to come up with laws and regulations, but at the same time, in order to adapt those laws, to bring about these laws, to cause the masses to accept those laws, we have to create crisis in order to cause people to fear, like this economic crisis, because it has a lot to do with basic needs, eating and drinking and buying and selling. So the Pope says, let's create some crisis. Notice, again, in order for laws to bring about the necessary long-term effects, the majority of the members of society must be adequately motivated to accept them and personally transformed to respond. These changes are not only necessary as part of the direct fight to lower carbon emissions, it's the only real hope we have to change what? The culture. So that one day we will all accept something like the Green New Deal. So that one day we will all accept the Sunday Law. Conditioning the masses. Then you have the media repeating those climate change lies over and over and over and over again, now to cause fear and panic, and so that the people could surrender their will. This is what Revelation chapter 13 says. Revelation chapter 13, verse 15 tells us, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the what? The image of the beast, what should happen to them? Should be killed. So we have these mayors, these nations, the cities, the major cities, mayors from major cities, giving the beast his life back again, and then this beast will once again speak. Just like he spake as a dragon in time past, it will be speaking once again as a dragon. Verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or in their foreheads. You see the economy here? He causeth, it says, both rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark where? In their right hand. What do you do with your right hand? You work. So if you will not receive that, then you will be economically bankrupt. But notice, 17, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So if you won't receive the mark of the beast, you don't go along with the Green New Deal, you are not willing to unite, as the IMF secretary, whoever she is calling for nations to unite because of this economy problems that we are facing worldwide, and the solution is a global Green New Deal, then you will not be able to buy or sell if you don't go along with that. Now, the next article we're going to look at here, it's going to blend it together for us. It's going to summarize for us what we just looked at here. It's going to show us the association with the Green New Deal and the economy, and the crisis that they have created before to bring about laws. They are doing the same thing today, now to bring about the Sunday Law under the umbrella of Global Green New Deal. Notice, this is from The Guardian. It says here, a recession is coming. When it does, we need what? To demand a Green New Deal. There it is. So the recession is coming. This economic collapse is coming. The people must ask for a solution. We have the thesis and the antithesis. What do we need? We need the synthesis. And what's the synthesis? A global Green New Deal, which is what? A Sunday Law. Notice, American carnage and Brexit collapse detention camps, and environmental breakdown. The daily barrage of bad news makes it easy to forget that these are disparate symptoms of the same disease unleashed by the 2008 financial crisis. Back then, activists in Europe and the US pushed for a holistic cure, a Green New Deal, to deliver necessary investments in people and planet. But establishment economists waved them off, preferring a shot in the arm of easy money. Let's pause. So way back then, 2008, they had what? A Green New Deal proposal to stop the financial crisis in 2008. So in other words, way back then, they were proposing a Sunday law. But God, in His grace and mercy, gave us more time. Just like in 1888, when He gave the messages to Eddie Jones and Wagner of righteousness by faith, which is what we need right now, brothers and sisters, righteousness of Jesus Christ. But the church rejected it. But around the same time, there was a Sunday law bill, which was called the Blair Bill, that was being introduced in Congress and to pass. But again, God in His grace and His mercy sent these men to Congress to defeat that because His people were not ready for the Sunday law. Are we ready for the Sunday law this time, brothers and sisters? That's the question for you and I. And in order for us to be ready, we need to embrace and accept the righteousness of Jesus Christ. Notice, the article goes on to say, now all the grave symptoms of recession have returned and the old drugs don't work anymore. Antibiotics, to which the disease has already adapted. Notice, let's continue here. We are long overdue for a Green New Deal. If 2008 saw the original development of the Green New Deal proposal, then notice 2019 is the time to do what? To deploy it. We must mobilize behind the Green New Deal as the only reasonable response to the coming recession. With the climate strikers marching on their front feet and the old guard caught retreating on its heels, we have a clear opportunity to achieve a true systems change, but it will require us to make clear to our governments it is a Green New Deal or bust. Brothers and sisters, the rumbling of the Roman army is not a far distance away. It is right there. We need some watchmen on the wall to help God's people understand. What do we need at this time? What do we need? Do we need to start panicking and try to figure out, how am I going to eat? How am I going to survive because of this recession that's coming? Because of this financial collapse that's coming? No, we need the righteousness of Jesus Christ. The Bible tells us, seek ye first the what? The kingdom of heaven. And what else? And its righteousness. Then shall all these things be added unto you. We need to seek first the kingdom of heaven. And don't worry about the rest. Jesus says, if He can clothe the lilies, cares for the sparrows, what about us? We worth more in God's eyes than the lilies, than the sparrows. What do we need once again? Do we need to panic? No. We need Revelation 14:12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that do what? Keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus Christ. That is the righteousness of Jesus Christ we need right now. That's the person we need at this time. That's the Savior we need at this time. He is the only one who can shelter us, who can keep us faithful. He is the only one who can feed us when it seems like there is no other way. Just like He fed the children of Israel in the wilderness where there was no food, not even water. Notice on the screen with me what the Bible tells us here. Matthew 5:6. Blessed are they which do what? hunger, and what else? And thirst after food? No, righteousness, for they shall be filled. So what do we need? The righteousness of Jesus Christ. Then we will be filled. Notice another passage here on the screen. This is from Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 3. Seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek what? Righteousness. Seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger. So what must we be seeking now? Searching the righteousness of Jesus Christ like precious gold. Just like God says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even the precious gold of Ophir. Notice another passage here on the screen from Revelation chapter 3, verse 18. I counsel thee, here is the appeal, I counsel thee to buy of me gold, where? Tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, there it is, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, and anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see. What's the counsel? To buy of me gold, not any kind of gold, but gold that has been tried in the fire. And that is Jesus Christ. And the right raiment, that is the righteousness of Jesus Christ. Back to the screen. Spirit of Prophecy tells us here, Review and Herald, July 24th, 1888. Notice, the counsel of the true witness is full of encouragement and comfort. The churches may yet obtain the gold, notice, the gold of truth, faith, and love, and be rich in heaven treasure. Buy of me gold, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear. The white raiment is the what? Righteousness of Christ, that may be wrought where? Into the character. Purity of heart, purity of motive will characterize everyone who is washing his robe and making it white in the blood of the Lamb. This is what we need at this time. Final crises are upon us. The final events, as Spirit of Prophecy tells us, will be rapid ones, and they are happening very rapidly. If only our eyes could be open, spiritually speaking, could be open, and to be able to have a glimpse at the development in our world, we will see that as both the Bible and Spirit of Prophecy tells us, that angels of God are waiting for us to reflect the glory of Jesus Christ, the character of Jesus Christ, so that they can help us to finish this work and let go of the wind of strife. Just like Revelation 18, verse 1 tells us, I saw another angel coming down with great power, and the earth was lightened with what? With his glory, which is the righteousness of Jesus Christ, the character of Jesus Christ. Brothers and sisters, let us seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. Then everything we need shall be added unto us. God bless you.